Okay, this is the 18th of April. I've moved the bottom of the boat and the frames down to the shop and set it up on the workbench. And what I've done, let me move around here a little bit so you might be able to see it a little bit better. Oh, maybe I can't get squeezing through here now. It's a little tight quarters in the shop. Anyhow, I clamped the board, as you can see, in the center on both sides, and I put spacers under it so that I've got a 1/4 inch spacer at 20 feet, 2 feet out from the center of the midships line. Basically, the slope of the bottom is supposed to be 1/8 of an inch per foot slope. So I've put 2 spacers on. I put a 1/4 inch, which is 2/8, and then a 3/8, which is right here at the green marker. You can see the tape I've put down on the workbench to locate that spacer, and then the rest of it, I'm assuming, is continuing to go up from where that is. The clamps have kind of given it a bend. And the idea here is I'm trying to make sure that the bottom of the frames are sitting plumb, even with the slight curve to the bottom of the boat. And you can see I put a plumb bob on the, this is frame 2 here. And if I get down real close here, you can see that plumb bob is pretty much directly in the center between the 2 boards, and that means that it's hanging pretty straight, considering that the bottom has a slight slope to it. The other thing that I'm doing, it's not quite so obvious, is I'm checking that the slope of this intersects with the side of this the bottom board. You can see I've left a little over 1/8 of an inch all the way around, or approximately, in order to and as it turns out, that 1/8 of an inch is pretty good, because I'm not sure that these things would have fit. If you can see, I take this iron here and put it down, and it's a the way it goes in, it's right up against the edge of the allowance that I've made it, so beveling it is going to be a real critical issue, because if that garboard plank doesn't fit, the boat doesn't float, bottom line. So anyhow, as you can see, I've got the cleats screwed on from the bottom. I used 1.5 inch spacing, 1.5 inch spacing, but 1.5 inch by number 10 silicon bronze screws coming up from the bottom, and that's almost, when you countersink them, there's it's a little bumpy in here. You can tell that they're almost ready to pop through, but they're not. Other than that, it was really a concern to me when I cut this bottom, to make sure, because like I said, I've been saying, is I don't have any more of this wood, and it is nice wood. So anyhow, I'm just doing some double checking here before I start actually cutting the bevels to match the bottoms of the board. You can see right here, I've made sure that the mark on the there matches the mark on the center line mark on the plank in the middle here. I've got a center line drawn all the way down. And in here it shows up a little bit better that's coming right down in the center line, so that I'm spaced correctly on both sides. The other question I got is still puzzling me, and and that's the setting up of this thing for the backbone that I'm going to put in the garage, and how I get these frames onto that backbone. And then I guess I have to put them on the backbone first, lay the bottom on top of the frames because it's all upside down, and because the backbone's going to go through here, and actually the bottoms of these frames will be sitting on that backbone flipped over, and I'll have notches in the backbone to allow for the frames and the cleats. But having said that, I can't drop it straight down because the spalls are in the way. So I'm going to have to thread it on to the backbone before I actually connect the backbone together somehow. And then, like I say, make sure that the frames are in the correct positions along that backbone to. And then after that, you clamp them from underneath, like I say, and make sure everything is clamped tight before you start drilling holes through the bottom to secure the frames to the bottom. It's because I'll be, like I say, you have to do a lot of work underneath the boat to check the alignment, and then have a way to secure everything while you're up on top trying to drive the screws in. Anyhow, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm, like I say, having fun with it all. More later.